Now let us start with another important topic, that is menstrual cycle. The events of the menstrual cycle can be said as the cyclic changes in the endometrium layer of the uterus which occurs at a regular time interval in a month. This changes occurs mainly due to change in the levels of female sex hormones, that is estrogen and progesterone. The events in this cycle can be divided into 28 days. That is, this menstrual cycle takes place every 28 days. Such an event of menstrual cycle is basically divided into three phases. The first phase that includes is from days 1 to 5. In this phase, lower concentration of the female sex hormone occurs in the blood. These female sex hormones include both estrogen and progesterone. Due to the lower concentration of female sex hormone, the endometrium layer of the uterus gets disintegrated. And therefore it breaks up. Due to this, the secretion of blood through vagina takes place. Because the endometrium wall gets disintegrated and the wall breaks up. As a result, this blood flow through vagina occurs. This blood flow lasts for about 3 to 5 days. During this period, about 50 to 150 ml of blood is lost. Such a phase is known as menstrual phase. Thus, the phase that takes place between 1 to 5 days is known as menstrual phase. Following it occurs the second phase, that is the phase that takes place between days 6 to 14. This phase is known as proliferative phase. In this phase, gradually the concentration of female sex hormone increases. During this, the concentration of estrogen increases. That is, in gradually increasing form, as a result of which the endometrium becomes thick, glandular, and vascularized. However, at the end of this phase, that is at the end of 14th phase, ovulation occurs. That is, the ovulation occurs by the end of the proliferative phase. Following it occurs the third phase, which takes place between days 15 to 28. This phase is known as secretory phase. In this, the progesterone level increases. Such a progesterone level increases due to the presence of corpus luteum that induces development of endometrium, which increases the blood supply, and therefore the blood supply increases due to the rising level of progesterone. Now, after this, the endometrium becomes ready for the embryo implantation. However, this is when the fertilization occurs. However, if the fertilization does not occur, then this corpus luteum degenerates. Due to this degeneration of corpus luteum, definitely the concentration of female sex hormone, that is progesterone, would also decrease. At this juncture or at this stage, the menstruation starts. And gradually this phase continuously moves on in a cyclic method of 28 days. This entire cycle is known as menstrual cycle. This figure depicts the menstrual cycle within the humans. As it can be seen from the figure, this menstrual cycle is divided into three phases. That is, menstrual phase, proliferative phase and secretory phase. In the menstrual phase, as it can be seen, the concentration of both female sex hormones occurs in a lower amount, as a result of which blood loss occurs and results into a menstruation phase. Following it occurs another phase, that is from days 6 to 14, where gradually the estrogen levels initially increases and makes the follicles comparatively thicker and glandular. Following it comes the third phase, that is secretory phase, in which the progesterone level increases and due to which the corpus luteum develops. But following it, after the completion of 28 days, further the corpus luteum degenerates, and as a result of which the female sex hormone concentration decreases, and the cycle goes on and moves in the seminal manner. Such a cycle is known as menstrual